Good morning, grade 3. We're moving to lesson 22. We're going pretty quickly. And this is called left and right. Would you like my new pointer? Let's read. Given below is a picture of a hand. Place your hand on it so that your palm is the side with the lines on it, the part that's covered when you close your hand, faces the paper. Your thumb and fingers should be placed on those in the picture. When you do that, you'll notice that your right hand fits on this. Okay, and I think that's what they're going to tell us. Yes, just as we thought, they're telling us that the hand, I'm reading here, you can read in your textbook, which fits on the hand in the picture is your right hand. Put your other hand on a page in your notebook and trace its outline to get a picture. That is your left hand. Then they want you to sing this song. Put your right hand in, put your right hand out, put your right hand in and just turn around. Wasn't it shake it all about? Do the hokey pokey. Well, it's not much fun to hear me singing alone. And you do it for the right and left foot. You've done this before. If you want, you can sing it for me and send me a video. That's wonderful if you want to do that. Otherwise, let's move on to the questions. On this page, I'm on page 145. Look in your classroom and tell. Now, you are not in your classroom, so you are going to have to look in your room and tell. Let's see. First question says, what is there on your left? I'm going to answer for myself and I'm going to start with on my left there is a desk and a window. You can say for yourself, on my left there is a chair and a table. On my left there are some books. The next question says, what things are there behind you? For me, I look behind me. Behind me, there are many books. For you, you might say, behind me, there is a door and a window. Behind me, there are... There are probably no other children, but behind me, there are my books, my bag and my pencil box, whatever's behind you. On whose left side are you sitting? Well, children, we have to leave this because these questions are for the classroom where you would be sitting next to someone. I'm sitting all alone, so I'm not sitting on anybody's left side. What is there on your right? On my right, there is a bathroom door. You don't know this, do you? You can answer, on my right there is the kitchen, or on my right there is a table, on my right there is a bag, whatever's on your right. Who is sitting on your right? Nobody's sitting on my right. We're all alone usually. What is in front of you? I'm going to answer for myself. The main door is in front of me. You can say the balcony is in front of me. A window is in front of me. A desk is in front of me. On whose right are you sitting? Again, we're going to leave this question since we are sitting alone these days. When we go to this page, page 146, it says, this is a picture with the Ruchira sitting in the middle. This girl is Ruchira. Draw a book behind her. So behind her would be here on this square. An animal on her right, on Ruchira's right. And Ruchira's right would be this square. So you draw an animal, a rabbit, a monkey, anything you wish to draw. And you can do this exercise in your textbooks. A chair on Ruchira's left. Here is her left. Draw a chair here. a tree in front of Ruchira. This is the box in front of her, so draw a tree here. On the next page, it says, guide Ruchira from home to school. Show her the way. Guide means to show someone the way. From her home to school. Find the school in the picture and find the way from Ruchira's home to her school. Trace it. Now, tracing is not enough for us. We are third graders. In our notebooks, we are going to write the directions. We're going to write them as I'm speaking them. Here's Ruchira. See her at the bottom? That's her house. So the directions would be turn right at the first intersection. Here she's turning right. Then turn left. Cross the hand pump on your left side and turn left again in front of the park. These are the sentences you'll write. She's turning, she goes here, she goes here, she turns left, cross the hand pump on your left and turn left again at the park. A pink house will be on Ruchira's left and a well on her right. At the end of the road, Ruchira must turn right. Cross the post office on her right, and the hospital will be on her left. Do you see that? This is the left if she's walking this way. At the end of this street, Ruchira will turn right. She will pass the shop, a tree, and then the school will be, she's walking this way, so the school will be to her left. If you need help writing these sentences, you can ask me during class. On the next page, page 148, right here, this is work you will do in your notebooks. Because I cannot check work in your textbooks, I do not take textbooks for checking. The first one says, which places and things will Ruchira find on her way from home to school? Write their names so you can list them. I remember a hand pump, a pink house, a post office, a hospital, a tree, a shop, a well, and maybe the park. And there might be other things. So look at the picture and make a list of your own. Which of these places and things will she find on her right and which will be on her left? Remember, we were already talking about that in the previous exercise. So walk again as if you are Ruchira from the house to the school and look and see what would be on her right. I think the well was on her right, one of the things, and the post office. And on her left, I remember that the hand pump and the hospital would be on her left, and the shop as well. If you have difficulty making these lists, talk to me in class. I would like to help you then figure out which is on the left and which is on the right. And then the last question on this page is interesting. How many times will Ruchira have to turn on her way from home to school? So just count the number of turns and write that down. Then on the next page, children, on 149, on the previous page they've written there's a smaller version of the earlier picture. This is, there are symbols instead of pictures. Such a picture where the drawings are not very exact, they're just like little symbols, just a small sketch or a sign. Such a picture is called a map. Identify means tell me which symbols mean what and write them down. So a map doesn't show beautiful drawings, and it definitely never shows people. It doesn't show things that move. Because Ruchira was here in the previous picture. She could be here now, or she could be in Majkhali. So we never show things that move on a map. So you never see cars or trains on a map. But even this, I believe the hand pump was here. See, it's not drawn very clearly. It's just a symbol, a quick thing that you can sketch and draw and say, okay, this is a hand pump. Why are these symbols used? It says at the bottom, And these symbols are used because they make it easier for people to understand the map. You don't need to draw the house and the balcony and the garden and all that. If you just know this symbol with a star is Ruchira's house, that's good enough. You don't need to draw the hand pump with water coming out. If you just know this circle means hand pump, that's good enough. But how will we know what these things mean? Well, that is what is called a key in a map. A key, not like the one that opens locks, but similar because it tells us the code. And this is the key. Here we would write Ruchira's house. This is the pink house, the tree, hand pump. This sign right here, the park. And then this would be a hospital, and this I know was the school. So go through, compare the two pictures and decide what this symbol, this one, and this one mean. I've left out 4. I could tell you, I know what's next to the tree, but why don't you look at the previous picture, the one before this, and see what this symbol means, and then you can write it down. Now this exercise you can do right here in the textbook too, but if you have any doubts, please ask me. On the next page, they have drawn a, where is this? The map doesn't look the same to me, does it? Or is it? Yes, it's pretty much the same. And it says, given below is a list, make your own signs or symbols. You can't copy the ones that we saw on the previous page. So Ruchira's house had a star in it. We can't copy that. Put your own symbols. So I've done one. I've chosen this symbol, a circle with an R, to show that that is Ruchira's house. Now, when I do that on my map, it is very important that I write it in the key. So I would draw the circle with an R right here to show Ruchira's house, circle with an R. You can do this exercise as well in your textbooks and just show me a picture of this. Choose anything you like, but make sure that you give the key. So if you're going to draw something, here's the park. If you want to make a big flower around and say the park is a flower, that's fine. Where is the park? Oh, the gate to the park. Then you'll have to just put that big flower, okay? So it's up to you. Do you understand what you're doing? You are showing all the things here, the school. You can draw anything you like for the school. The important thing in symbols and maps, they should be clear and they should be quick. So you don't want to draw beautiful rangoli design. You want to make it quick, maybe an S for school. And then you will write down that school, the key is S is for school. We are then on page 151. You don't do this all at once, children. And it says, you've seen a red cross sign for the hospital in the picture. So you looking at that sign, even without reading, we know it's a hospital. Which other signs can you see in your neighborhood? Draw them and write what they indicate, what they show. Since we have to draw them, can we do this in the notebook so that I can see it in your notebooks, please? Can you also call this parent homework so that we can have the help of our parents for signs? A red cross sign, yes. See, I live out here in the jungle. I don't see many signs, but you in Machkhali may see more signs than me, and your parents may have traveled a lot and they'll remember signs. So see if you can come up with signs with them. Please do it in your notebook. So if you're going to draw a red cross, you'll say what they indicate, what they show. A hospital. If you're going to draw a speed bump sign, I remember those. I think it's a triangle with a lot of bumpy things. You'll write speed bump or speed breaker. Complete this, and if we can't do it or you can't think of any signs, please ask me. We can find a lot of them together. Again, on the next page, it says a list of symbols used in the map is given here. Look carefully and write. And what do they want us to write? They just want us to answer the questions at the bottom. How many houses are there in the map? On the map. How many shops are there? On the map. How many trees are there? On the map. This one is super duper easy. So I'm not going to need it in the textbook. You can write it here. If I say, I'm not going to do it because it's easy. How many houses? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many shops? You have to look for the key. You have to look here and say, what's the symbol for a shop? Let me see. There it is. Then look at the map and say, how many of those purple squares with a blue circle? 1. Okay. And then how many trees? I'm not going to do it. I'll spoil your fun. This work continues on the next page. How many pumps are there on the map? I'll leave that one for you to count. But is the school closer to the post office or to the hospital? Now we look at the school using our key on page 152. Oops, the school is a purple square with a yellow cross on it, and they want to know, is the school closer to the post office? The post office is a purple square with an orange square in it, or to the hospital, right? And the hospital seems to be way on the other side, the red cross. So I would answer, the school is closer to the post office than the hospital. What is near the bus stop? To find that out, I need to see where the bus stop is. To know that, I look at the key on page 152. A bus stop is a brown rectangle. What is near the bus stop? I see it. A hand pump is near the bus stop. Without the list of symbols, could you have read the map? No, a map is impossible to read unless you know what the symbols on it mean. And that's why usually we have all the same symbols all over the world, even like that red cross is a hospital or some kind of medical help all over the world. Without the list of symbols, could you have read the map? No, I could not have read the map without the list of symbols. Write some, this is a misprint, it should be S-O-M-E. Write some symbols here that you have learned in mathematics. We know lots of symbols. Less than, greater than, equal to, and then what about plus, minus, multiplication symbol, division symbols. So go ahead and write those. And then we have over here, again, you can do this in the textbook right here, or you can draw it in your notebook if you want me to check it. Show places which come on the way to school from your home through symbols. You can make symbols. So basically they're saying draw a map from your house to your school and mark things on it. Make sure that you make a key. A map should have a key like this, a code that we can tell, okay, this means hand pump. So you can do that. Most of you live in Machkali, so if your house is here, you may cross a post office, you may cross that Himalaya hardware store with the tankers where the water is, then you'll come. There's a welding shop, I think. You may cross a road going off to Almora. What other things? A couple of shops, and then you'll come to your school on the left-hand side if you're coming from Machkali. If you need help to draw this, please ask me and we'll work on it together. I don't want to draw it already for you.